A little bit. Internet hypocrisy bothers me, and I think Isabel's going to be fine. And as we tried to say in Night in the Woods, that character slot thing is not a thing.
That will never be a thing. One, maybe you should try talking to him first as a just in case if the game has stupid plastic bullshit. And second of all, can you do that slam from any point in the flying? Because you're basically going to have to get...
Yep.
You're going to have to get stupid high then.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
This literally is a space jam.
The problem with doing it in the flight, though, is the exact position
Yes, but...
of the button. And the way that you basically... Because doing that from the air... Though we might be able... It almost worked from the highest, so if I jump...
You're going to have to jump from the spot the Pagey is on, get a decent amount of height. That's not going to work. You're going to have to do the flying.
This is going to be so fucking awkward.
You're gonna have to fly from there, but not by much.
The problem is just lining this up with a janky camera, and the fact that the flight auto-circles, so I'm barely touching the controller when I fly. God damn it! But yet, the character slot thing is not a thing.
Like, no one has ever stolen, like, a character slot or whatever in Smash Brothers. People just basically say or think that they did to justify them hating a character.
That...
I mean, just...
Oh, come on!
I mean, like, just, you know...
Flying and hitting that is damn near impossible. I need to get just a little bit over, but the problem is you can't aim, and the form just circles around, so you have to, like... You have to fly and get... this is so stupid. I'm going to die doing it too.
Might as well pick up those quills before you die, then.
So... dumb.
Didn't this world have, like, 500 or 600 quills?
So back to, I need to somehow...
Like, talk to the guy, see if anything he says gives a hint.
Cause, like, from the ground... It's... Flying... Cause I'm... Like, you get stuck, and then if you're up a little bit too high, and it seems to cap anyway. It seems to just cap anyway, and I've lost my point. It's just a ramble and be pissed off at this, because I don't know what the hell to do, because the... It doesn't seem to... My height doesn't seem to matter! And you think the logic would be you just jump from up here, but that doesn't fucking do it.
If height doesn't seem to matter, go see if there's anything on those islands, like a ball or something to make you heavier.
there is this dubious crate.
Hey, watch out. Oh, look at that. Balls can make you heavier. Wonder what those are for.
You see, that makes way more logistical sense. What the?
You would probably have to fly a little bit with those, and then
I'm gonna have to go
back to reset it.
I'm gonna have to jump off the top.
If
It's just... Yep! Hell to the air! Good blazing... Flamafit?
I don't know.
How did you hit... How did you hit that hard?
Huh, that's what your mom said.
Great work, recruits. You've more than proved yourselves as fully qualified war machines. Enemies of the... Oh!
Yeah. Those are the enemies?
Remember that race that we kept bombing?
Oh, yeah.
We'll surely tremble at the sight of our new green and purple war machine. Take your golden artifact and head straight to war, recruits. So, we made that more complicated. Man,
Sometimes you just have to pay attention to the game. Like, I'll collect those, like, 2 quills.
Sometimes you're just an
Actually,
idiot.
like I said, I swear... I feel like this world had 500 or 600.
No.
I guess it was 600 then. Because that's the casino.
Whoops. I rolled too much. It's 200. It's like every other...
Yeah.
Back
Not
to...
even for Polish, but... Anyway, back to internet hypocrisy, like... I really do feel... like that stupid slot thing, and again, I don't care what tinfoil hat theory this sounds, I really do feel like that slot thing is something people will essentially tell themselves to get mad when the character they
Oh no,
want.
Gino's not in, Isabelle is in, she's taking up a slot. There is no... Sakurai does not go, okay guys, we're going to have 70 characters, so...
No, you guys will have as many characters that make us money.
But it's... and the fact that everyone...
Because, again, just, like, look at the shit that surrounded Jigglypuff for, like, years of... It was stated the reason Jigglypuff was in the original Smash Brothers was because they wanted to actually have Pit, they wanted to have Pit in the game, but they couldn't animate his wings, so they basically put Jigglypuff in. But years later, it was learned that there was nothing to really support that. The most was, I think...
I'm gonna run the golf course to learn what I'm doing.
Also, I think if you kill the enemies, they're not going to respawn.
So...
like, I think the most that was, like, given to that years later was that Sakura, I think he said he, like, considered Pit, but he didn't say anything about animation or whatever being the reason Pit got the shaft, or acting like, you know, he got the shaft. I think he just said it was on the table. And it's something I kind of love of how people... Again, people, they like to essentially, frankly, make up bullshit to justify them being angry, because, again, the character that they want isn't in the game. The internet has done this constantly.
And then another thing I rambled about in a couple of LPs, because it made some interesting points. I was watching a guy did a blind Nuzlocke run of Generation 6, and that game destroyed him. And a lot of that was due to some bad RNG, his own hubris and lack of knowledge, but it does kind of prove...
It's almost like RNG is what makes most RPGs artificially difficult.
And the fact that Generation 6 can actually be kinda difficult. But, because, like, if he was using regular Nuzlocke rules, he would have lost at the beginning of the game. Because Generation 6 actually has a lot of difficult battle scenarios of varying enemies.
Again, the thing a lot of people never seem to acknowledge when they say Generation 6 is too easy, it's actually the highest leveled game. Not even Sun and Moon was higher level.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't think it was.
Oh, that just resets the...
Yes. That just resets the ball if it goes off course. But we're going to scum this out like a motherfucker, and you've already killed all the enemies.
And open all the doors! Because I'm cheap.
Hey, the game lets you do it. It's not cheating if they let you do it. Plus, this is also a mini-game that a lot of people said was kind of mad. Which, that's, like, you know, go on to the, like, the Pokemon point of something I find hilarious in games when people... Something I find hilarious in games when people do it is people will complain about something like making the game too easy or whatever, but they'll then acknowledge if they don't do this, it's a pain in the ass. Oh.
This is going to be...
This is going to be the worst.
Not... Just need to get the angle right.
You need to get it straight.
Oh, come on. No.
Ah! That would have been the best thing.
God damn it!
At least it's not like this can send it flying.
The hole's right down there, too! So it's like...
This is the true final boss right here.
This is so... Oh, come on! God damn it! This isn't even hard, it's just tedious because the physics don't exactly work how they should. So this thing gets called on stupid shit.
Unity is a great engine.
And I have to... Oh, come on. I'm gonna lose the minigame. Because the fucking ball won't get the fucking hole, because it's fucking stuck on fucking nothing. I'm just gonna go reset. That is the hardest part! It's not even that hard, it's just tedious nonsense. These guys came back. It's just tedious bullshit. It's not hard because it's hard. It's hard. I ramble about this in a Odyssey part that is long from being recorded, but we were dealing with a terrible thing, and I had said some of the worst idea of game design to me is when you know something is shitty with physics, but you decide that instead of fixing it, that your challenge should be overcoming the shitty physics, which is kind of my beef with horror games, where you have wonky, terrible combat, because, God forbid, your combat...
See, that's why I hate, unlike most other horror games, I don't hate Outlast.
God damn it, the enemies came back.
You see, that's why, unlike a lot of other horror games and stuff, Wait, did the ball actually hurt them? Or was that your explosion that hurt them?
Damn it. No. Ah! Okay, so if you fell, everything resets then. So I'm just gonna have to kill these guys. The explosion.
It was like the horror game thing. You see, that's why I don't...
Good lord.
That's why the one horror game I don't hate is Outlast, because the developers instead of, oh, we put in terrible combat because you're supposed to avoid the combat, they were like, we want you to feel defenseless, so you can't defend yourself.
You just can't have combat.
It's that simple. You want me to be scared? Don't give me things and then expect me to not use them. Just don't put them there.
I've, like, on and off throughout YouTube, as rambly as I get, sometimes if I try to hold a passionate point, it's because I feel certain things are good or bad. And that's a common one. Don't make it janky and horrible, just don't let me do it. It's that simple. You assholes.
And that's, I feel, kind of another thing.
Damn it. That thing rolls a little bit more than you think it would.
And I feel that's kind of another point was that to cover something that we were kind of talking about in, like, say, Kingdom Hearts, something else
Oh, come on! It's like it is designed where they know that it doesn't roll as quick as it needs to, but it's also not as slow as you think it is. So you just have this artificial timing of just a couple of seconds, and it just gets caught, and you're just wasting all your fucking time, just juggling around. I'll go back to the...
Alright, what I was going to say was it's like
Damn it, yes.
It's like another good example to talk
Okay, I've got 57 seconds to clear.
The goal is right there, and I think the smaller enemies do actually get hurt. Yeah, the ball actually does destroy the smaller ones. The big guys they're the ones that can actually kind of knock it around.
Come on, God damn it.
There.
Woohoo!
I like it.
It appears we have a winner.
Like I said, it is something that's kind of hard to explain, but we talked about it in, like, Kingdom Hearts 2, which we're recording at this time. Something I hate in a game is when you basically put a mechanic in, but you, like, punish me for using it, or it has, basically, something like that. Like, you have the drive forms in Kingdom Hearts 2, and because it would, of course, be broken to infinitely stay in the drive forms have a meter that they use, but there's a form anti-Sora that is basically a punishment for you using the drive forms too much. Even though you have the drive forms already have a balance to prevent you from using them too much.
Which is the gauge that they run on.
Yes. And then the other fact of each...
Still missing like half.
And then the other fact of each drive form actually takes so many drive points to use it, so it's not even like when you use them, you can technically use the max meter. No, even the base 2 forms take 3 points out of the meter.
It takes points to transform, and then it drains. But someone's game design idea was, hey, let's take this form that we're already trying to balance and make it more arbitrary and useless by forcing the player to basically have to deal with our extra tedious bullshit for no reason other than the fact that, oh, we think you need more balance, but then I feel you hit what you can call...
You already balanced it enough. Or, again, another much more stupid one, and the reason I feel this is worse is because this already fucked with an established system that worked, and that... I thought we did Rextra on this
Oh! Oh god, the Pig Knights are here.
Of course they were. Or, as I also rambled about, another one that's fucking stupid, because this fucked was an already existing system, is the EX skills from the Zero games, because if you use Cyber Elves, the thing that the game gives you, it punishes you for using them, and if your rank is too low, you can't get an EX skill. Because you used too many Cyber Elves. Well, why the fuck did you put them in the game?
I'll deal with the Knights in a minute, but...
And if someone's going to pull that a bullshit of, well, of course the game punishes you for using them. They make the game easier. Again, like I said before, the regular Mega Man games and the X games were perfectly content with you giving upgrades, and it's not like, oh, you have too many heart tanks,
and I
you
can
can't
also
get the enemy's weapon.
And also that gives me, and I've said this, and like no one can usually justify it. If your argument is, but it's too broken, why didn't you rebalance it then?
Yes.
And don't say that this limit is to rebalance it, because that limit is dumb and not a good rebalancing system at all.
And like a hilarious thing in the case of the Zero games, I believe you need to beat I think you need to beat the game to do this, but this is just something funny that all of them do. I believe after you've beaten, I think it's all of them once, or them on hard mode once. I'll have to go look at this up. I think it's if you hold L when starting a new file, you basically can start in a mode that gives you every Cyber Elf off the beginning of the game, and they are all activated without punishing your score. Yes, that is an additional mode, and again, I think you do have to beat the game at least once to get it. But again, if this truly, like, you know, was broken or whatever, it's like, why did they give me this mode? Why did they give me a mode that basically makes the game broken? So what the fuck did they...
They said that there's a hidden treasure vault somewhere in this area, and they all want the money out of it, and they're all offering you a split if you can find it. So I'm scouring the map, looking for treasure vaults, and the biggest clues we have are, like, more or less nothing distinct that I can see, and Retro's here, but I don't think he's anything, so I'm just seeing...
Well, Rex already has own thing.
Exactly! That was my point with that, so... Treasure vault, so there is somehow...
Is that a cave over there? Oh, it is.
You know...
Maybe it's that. Hey, remember the game The Cave?
There's definitely shit in here. This is why, on and on, I've tried to argue about game design, and we've done that in miscellaneous commentaries. Oh shit, Shovel Knight.
Ah, fuck. Speaking of bad game design, haha, shots fired.
Okay, guys, so my question of the day is, if you played Yooka-Laylee and you did that one golf mini-game that I was stuck on for a couple of minutes, did any of you guys have the same kind of problems I did? I've heard people say that the golf mini-games are kind of infamous for being bad, but the other ones in the one casino level I didn't think were that bad, but this one I thought was pretty terrible, so I wanted to see if any of you guys had the same kind of problems I did. Anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments below, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and leave some comments. If you are new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscription button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please ring the bell next to the subscription button. That gives you the proper notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Doing all of these things really helps out the channel, and it really helps our communities grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.